Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Merkakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us His truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in His work, and also to the believers that across the four corners of the earth, the hopeful elect to USA. Shalom. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. Alright, quick news and prophecy update. And I got a couple of articles I want to go into. This first one from Fortune.com says billionaire investor Carl Icahn warns the worst is yet to come. Ford investors and compares the U.S. inflation to the fall of the Roman Empire. You see that? Showing that America is a spitting image of the Roman Empire, and it's pretty much going out in like fashion. The main difference this time is that this place is going to be overthrown by fire. Thermonuclear fire at that by Russia, as we see tensions being heightened between America, Russia, also these other nations as well, which are going to burn this place with fire as prophesied. But before that happens, this place is going to be tormented with plagues. Okay, and so as Rome went out by the way of economic collapse, the morality of the people went down. There was also pestilences, plagues of the sword. There was division. Okay, all these things are happening right now within the United States. So that pretty much lets you know that this place is circling the drain, man. CTD. Okay, America is done. And so the guy says again, he warns that the worst is yet to come for investors. All right, dealing with the stock market. So, as we understand according to prophecy, there will be a stock market crash that will pretty much be the starting point for all hell breaking loose. All right, seeing that everything is circulated around money. So Zephaniah 1:10, it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashimashah, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and an howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills." Okay, there's going to be a lot of lamenting when this stock market crash. See? So a great crashing from the hills, pretty much, like a stock market arrow, how it starts from the top and it becomes pretty much bearish and it drops. Well, that's what this is talking about. Okay, that great crashing from the hills. So it says, "How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, and they that bear silver are cut off." Okay, let's get this in the NLT. It says, "Wail and sorrow, all you who live in the market area, for all the merchant and traders will be destroyed," man. Okay, so that's what this guy right here is warning about. That's what he's telling you. This is what we have been telling you. So now they're saying what we've been saying. All right, the worst is yet to come for investors and compares U.S. inflation to the fall of the Roman Empire. All right, and right now we're seeing the Dow drop. Okay, it just dropped. What's the date currently? September 23rd is when this came out. Today's the 24th. So the Dow drops nearly 500 points to close at new low for 2022 on rising recession fears. Okay. Also, you got this guy here, another one. Now he says, "Prepare for a long and ugly recession," says Dr. Doom, the economist who predicted the 2008 crash. So this guy's nickname is Dr. Doom. And of course, these guys are insiders. They know what's going on and what the objective is. That is to crash the American dollar to bring in this new diesel system ran by this Charagma, the CHIP. All right. And so this guy, they won't let me read it anymore, but he said somewhere down here that pretty much in 2 months, there's going to be a great, pretty much like something major is going to happen within 2 months. Okay. That's going to make a major shift within the economy. All right. So going back to this right here. Okay. The guy says the worst is yet to come. So he also says, we printed too much money. We printed up too much money, and it's thought the party would never end. He said, adding that with the Fed switching stances and raising rates to fight inflation, he now believes the party is over. All right, and that's what we've been saying all along. America is done. So, with them trying to pretty much save America with its economic system by raising the rates, it's going to put a lot of people into a bind. All right, inflation is going to take place in rationing and famine. Okay, and so when you look at the national debt, okay, when you go to the debt clock, it said 30 trillion. It's reaching, or it's headed to 31 trillion. And every citizen of the United States is $92,000 in debt. All right, so just like with everything that rises, man, it's gonna be a fall. So America is pretty much at the tipping point of where it's gonna go, and ultimately this place is gonna fall abruptly. Okay, it's gonna crash, as we just read. And so let's go back into this article. Right, so yeah, the guy said, well, we print up too much money, and he thought that the party would never end. Okay, so this is of course biblical. As we go to the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, it speaks about Esau and America and his debt that this man has accumulated. So Habakkuk 2:5 says, yes, also because he transgresseth by wine. Okay, this man pushes his philosophies, his democracy across the four corners of the earth, corrupting these other nations. He is a proud man and neither keepeth at home. Okay, all these military bases across these other nations. Okay, a McDonald's in Egypt or whatever it may be, China. Okay, that's this man pushing his philosophies across these other places. So he neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Okay, because what he's a covetous man. He can never have enough, man. It said he enlarges his desire as hell, which is the grave, and is as death. Everything he produces equals death, and cannot be satisfied. You see, but gather from unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. Now these devils, these elites, these bankers, as we understand, want to crash this society and bring in this new society that's going to be operated by the Charagma, the CHIP, this fourth industrial revolution. And so behind the scenes, they're the ones that's pretty much causing all this to happen. Outside of Yahweh Shema Shah, of course, for his will. But on a lower scale, okay, America has accumulated too much debt. So verse 6 says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe or destruction to him that increases that which is not his. Okay, and that's what we're saying. Destruction to you Americans for increasing that which is not yours, man. All right, you stole this country. You stole the Israelites, okay? You spoiled the nations. So you think that this is not going to come back on you? It says, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And when we go into the word of thick clay, all right, we get the word abadia in the Hebrew. In Hebrew 5:6-7-1. And it says, a weight of pledges, heavy debts. See? Heavy debts. And that's what we just showed you. Okay, the U.S. debt clock, almost 31 trillion, $92,000 per citizen. Okay. So this place is coming to its fullness. Okay, the debt is too high, and there's gonna be a crash. See. So let's go back. Let's read this in the NLT. All right. It says, but soon their captors will taunt them. See, they will mock them, saying, what sorrow awaits you thieves? Isn't that what we're saying? Now you will get what you deserve. You become rich by extortion. But how much longer can this go on, man? How much longer can this go on? It's not going to be very long, as we can see. All right, all the pieces are in play for this place to crash. See? So let's go back into this article. All right. So it says the hangover from the Fed's loose monetary policies, according to Icon, is sky-high inflation, which rose 8.3% from a year ago in August. Inflation is a terrible thing. You can't cure it, Icon said, right? So what the scripture say? Okay, was it Jeremiah the 5th chapter, if I'm not mistaken? But it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. All right, let us forsake her, and everyone go into their own land. So this place cannot be healed. The inflation, is too high. The dollar is losing its value. So it says, noting that rising inflation was one of the key factors that brought down the Roman Empire. Rome famously experienced hyperinflation after a series of emperors lowered the silver content of their currency, the denarius. You see that? The situation then dramatically deteriorated after Emperor Diocletian instituted price controls and a new coin called the argentis, which was equal in value to 50 denarii. All right, so that denarius was phased out with a new digital currency, not digital currency, but a new currency called the argentis. Okay, and this is what America is doing now. They're bringing in this digital system, in which digital currency will be the new thing. Now, when you go to Revelation, the 6th chapter, verse 5, it speaks about the third seal, which is what? Famine. It says, and when he had opened the third seal, Yahweh shall open the seal. It says, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. All right, this black horse represents slavery. It represents a very dark time. Okay. And so we're about to come into a very, very dark time very soon. Once his stock market crashes. You see? So I want to get the definition for, what is that? Balances. In the Greek 2218. Okay, you get a yoke. All right, a yoke. As that of slavery. Okay. As that of slavery. Speaking about the Israelites, all right, who were put into captivity by these devils. So it's been a dark time ever since that time. It's going to get even darker in the future. And so what we're speaking of right now is when the stock market crashes and the famine starts to ensue. Okay, which means many people are going to die from famine. So verse 6 says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the fourth beast say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. And the oil and the wine represents the ones that have been anointed with this truth. Of course, the oil is the anointing, and the wine is the doctrine. So the ones that have this oil and wine, okay, are going to be preserved from these said perils of famine and all that. As you read in Isaiah 65, my servant shall eat, okay? My servant shall drink. Also Ezekiel 9:4. Set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations done in the midst thereof. That mark goes to exemption from judgment. So hurt not the oil and the wine. That's what the Lord is saying. So a measure of wheat for a penny. Let's see what a penny is. In the Greek 1220, you get denarion. See?
Strong's G 1220. Denarion. Denarion.
All right, denarion. That's what we just read in the article. So it says denarius containing 10, a Roman silver coin in New Testament time. It took its name from it being equal to 10 asses, a number after 217 BC, increased to 16. It was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire. From the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, it was seen that the denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wages. See that? So just think about that. All right, it says again, Verse 6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the fourth beast, or fourth beast, say, a measure of wheat for a penny. So we know that penny is a denarius, right? And that equals a day's pay. So a loaf of bread can cost you upwards of what? Just for an estimate, 100, 200, see, or more. This is how high inflation is going to get. But it says, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Okay? To make that even more clear, when you go to the NLT, it tells you what a denarius is, all right? NLT, and I heard a voice from among the four living beings say, a loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley would cost a day's pay. To make it simple, you see? And don't waste the olive oil and wine, okay? The elect, basically. So there you go, man. All right? So this is coming. This is the start of the famine, the rationing. All right, as inflation goes up, things are gonna get very crazy, man. All right, uprisings of the people for the lack of bread, and so on and so forth. So it goes on to say, the result of the Roman emperor's unsustainable policies was an inflation rate of 15,000%. See that? You think that's not coming again? 15,000% between 80, 200, and 300. Okay? So, I mean, shit's about to be bad. Over there in, what is it, the Bank of England, they're doing away with the paper notes, and they're making a transition to another kind of note. You know, so they're phasing out the old way, and they're bringing in a new way, man. Okay? So what else they got up in here? That's pretty much it. All right. So 15,000% mass inflation, mass rationing, which is gonna produce mass famine, man. All right. I got some other articles over here. Oh yeah, Con. This is from Blacklisted News. Now this says right here, inflation may cost the average U.S. family extra $11,500 this year. All right, so who is that directly affecting? The poor, you Israelites, who live paycheck to paycheck, knowing damn well you can't afford to spend an extra 11 grand or more a year, man. You see? So these devils are very strategic in what they're doing, and they want to crash this economy and force you to take this charagma. All right, seeing that the government is going to have everything that you need, okay, to survive once your resources are taken away. Okay, you also got this article right here from Blacklisted News. The White House has just called for the creation of a digital dollar. Here you go, man. All right. So with the rates rising, okay, inflation going up, this is what the Lord's going to do to you Israelites. And this happened when the Babylonians sacked the first temple. When they sacked Jerusalem, it says the siege of Jerusalem predicted by who? A prophet. Many prophets. Okay, and we are the prophets today telling you that the same thing is coming. So Ezekiel 4:16 says, moreover he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away for their iniquity. And you Israelites really don't understand the severity of this truth, and you hearkening and repenting back, because in doing that, you know, the Lord's going to provide protection for you. You know, you was going to be fed in that day, and you were going to be comforted. Okay, confident and comforted. But as the scripture say that you would not, you know, you turn away the shoulder from the mouthpiece of the Most High Yahweh Bashim Shai, which are the prophets. Therefore, you're going to eat of the fruit of your own way, man. There's going to be a lot of cannibalism and cruel things done to the people who deny Yahweh Bashim Shai in that day, man. You see? So the Lord's going to break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, which Jerusalem is a people before is a place. Speaking about you Israelites, that you're going to eat bread by weight and with care. That's rationing. That should drink water by measure and with astonishment. All because you denied this truth. You see, so you're going to be left out there. All right. So that was pretty much it. I don't want to make this too long, but yeah, that great crash is coming. All right, as the guy said, the worst is yet to come. You know, for investors and capacity, U.S. inflation to the fall of the Roman Empire, and that's exactly what you're witnessing right now: the fall of the new Roman Empire, which is America, starting with America, and the rest is beast system. So with that, Lord willing, you're edified. Next time I say, Shalom.